whenever some client approaches, we never say no. It's like मेहमान आए हैं घर पे, so पैसा लेके. Hi Priya.
Yeah.
Nice to meet you. This is Kavita. So I am working as a transformation excellence manager in Accenture. So it's been 10 years, 11 years, almost 11 years that I am in the industry. I've worked in mostly in the technology part of the industry. So the development and testing and all the process. My role has basically transformed from a developer to a manager. Now, I used to be a Python and Angular developer when I started my career, and with time we realized that we stand in a particular place when we are problem solvers. Either I am directly solving the problem and taking it to the user, or I'm indirectly contributing to the problem, right, to the solution of the problem. So I realized that I think I am supposed to be the one who is directly dealing with this, directly understanding from the customer instead of sitting behind the computer and making the solution.
Once, when you're a team member and when there is a shift from your position of a team member to being a leader, you know how difficult it is, because you don't take responsibility of just yourself but also your team members, the project,
Yeah.
and the entire thing.
Yeah.
So what would you say is your leadership style, and why is it that, and how do you make yourself comfortable in that leadership style and also your team members?
Yeah, so I think if every person, whoever reaches to the level of leadership, right, they are still a human, right? So when we see a human, everyone is different. Knowing that whatever I will decide is right based on my experience, right? So in psychology terms, or maybe in human terms, we call them introverts or extroverts, right? They are the only people who are growing to that leadership role also, right? They are still men and women. Even when we are growing in this role, we are still extrovert as a person, we are still introvert as a person. So when you will take a decision, you'll think twice and take that decision. If I will take a decision, I will sit with my team and take the decision. So when I say the leadership trait that I have is inclusive.
Inclusive.
Yeah.
You would like to take your team members along with you in the decision making
Yes.
process.
But otherwise also the team should feel like they are included. The more higher you go in your roles, and when I don't mean the hierarchy. There is no higher or lower when we work in an industry. With experience, with a number of years, so they look at you with someone who comes with a particular expertise, right? So the more higher you go in that experience, the more you have to you are not allowed to say no.
Oh.
So if I could have said no to this client, but it's a relationship that we maintain. So
As you said that you're an inclusive leader wherein you take opinions from your team members and everything.
yeah.
So of course when there is a lot of brainstorming then on any project or any problem, so there a lot of opinions, it is very difficult to manage all of them, to cater to all of them, right? So how do you navigate through that decision making process? What is your approach to it? To maybe have confidence in your past experience, or listening to the team members having their new perspective? What is your approach for decision making process?
So when it comes to decision making, the kind of role that I am in, it's a challenging role. So there might be some things common, but the problems not always are common. Problems are different. How do we solve those problems? Sometimes it's very important to have that experience, expertise plus diversity. So the more I include my team into the decision, the more diversified that decision is. There are a lot of new channels that comes out when we discuss with our team, when we do a retrospective with our team, that should we have done this? This gives me two ways. One is because my thought will be confined on based on the clients I have met till now, the kinds of problem I have solved till now. But my team members are coming from so many different projects. They have diverse experience again. So it's like we are consolidating all those experience and making that one right decision.
So while brainstorming and talking to your team, decision making can be a little delayed
Yes.
because of the variety of opinions that you have.
Yes.
So it is very crucial that we have a structured decision making process so that we deliver to the client on time.
Agreed, yeah.
Right? So how do you make in your team? How do you make that decision making process structured? And
When it comes to being structured with decision making, that's a very tough job. Put the thought before coming to the meeting. So come prepared. That's when they have already done that brainstorming from their end. We are having that particular things to talk about, which they have already thought about, and now our meeting is very crisp. We take decisions. So I always prefer to distribute responsibilities within my team, which gives them a sense of power or a sense of belongingness, I would say. So responsibilities, sense of belongingness, and preparedness. That's the three important things that I think I have to have when we are in such strategy discussions.
were you always like this, or your leadership styles and how you proceed towards decision making, has it evolved over the years?
Yes,
And
definitely.
how has it evolved?
Definitely, it has evolved. There has been, as I said right now, that this was the time when I went prepared, but there was time when I wasn't prepared.
Yeah.
I just said the problem, this is happening. And then I realized, oh no, the people I work with are feeling bad about it. So I shouldn't have said it that way. So there are ways that if people felt bad about my idea, I'll make them feel good. That this is what I meant, or I'm so sorry, or however I would. So my trait was still there, but the skills that I developed was with experience. To present a problem, it's a very big skill, trust me. How to upfront come and say that this needs to be solved. How to be prepared with a solution before presenting a problem. Bias plus confirmation bias is very common. So confirmation bias is running. It's like the way blood runs through our veins. It is running through because a leadership is not required to be inclusive, but a leadership is required to be a person who is being able to deal with the client. I feel harmless to say that it is required to run through a particular decision-making process. To make sure we are providing the solution to the client who is actually giving us the money, we have to have a percentage of bias there. Everyone deserves a chance. So let's have a feedback loop, but you cannot exploit your chance.
From your experience, confirmation bias is something that sometimes helps.
Yeah, it helps.
Thank you so much for your time, though you had a sleepless night and you were tired through, I'm very, very, very grateful that you took out time for this interview. Thank you so much.
That's totally fine. Thank you, Priya. And I think you're doing great. I have an interest in knowing more about psychology, so maybe one day let's reverse the chairs.
Maybe we can chat on the lunch.
Yeah, sure. Thank you.
Thank you.